All right, guys, so we're just pulling up to SOS Customs right now. We've got our truck and our open trailer that we borrowed from Mr. Hunt. Shout out to Tej for being a good friend, letting us use the old open. So we're gonna run inside right now and see about picking this car up. Literally picking it up by hand.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Ooh, NSX. Those wheels though.
Sick. Hey, those look familiar.
Ooh, what do we got here? If you guys have never seen this Z before, go check out SOS Customs on YouTube. They've got an upstart YouTube channel. I think they've got quite a bit of actual details on this build. Little V8 build with big turb ski on here. I like the custom flare they did. This is pretty cool. Cool shape. And that color looks pretty similar to the color that's on our 240. Pretty interesting. I like that car. Woo! On the car, and it looks better than I anticipated.
It looks so good.
It looks so
that
good.
Color is so awesome. It's
What about the black roof?
perfect.
Black roof looks nice. It ties. What's cool is the window trims are all blacked out, so it ties it all together really good. A lot of people have done black roofs on these before. Like hundreds of thousands of people have done black roofs on these before, but I think it was a good choice for us.
Can't wait to see this thing in the sun, just 6 feet out. It's gonna look so good. Let that metallic really, that pearl really shine.
Plan is to allow the guys from SOS here to kind of put some of the molding trims back on that they took off because they probably remember how to do it. Sunroof was removed for paint, so they're gonna pop the sunroof back in. That's it. Get it back to our shop so we can start throwing it back together.
Yep. Wow, in the sun, that looks so good.
What wheels though?
All right. That was harder the second time, I think.
The question is, how the hell we get it off? Yeah.
I'll load it up.
Did we film the process of how this went on the trailer?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I got it. I think. Man, does she look good. Thanks, dude. Thank you guys so much. To celebrate the return of the 240SX, we're coming out with a whole new product line that's gonna be available on the merch shop this Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific. So we got a new t-shirt design. This is the back. This is what the front looks like. It's got this new bolt design that is super cool. We have a new snapback in heather gray. Really nice with the puff embroidery. We've got 4 new slap stickers and actually 2 different sizes too. So we have mini slap stickers here. We also have full-size slap stickers. And we do have a gym bag that's perfect, lightweight. You can just throw all your stuff in. Check it out, guys. June 7th, this Friday at 12 o'clock. And one special thing is VIP members are gonna get early access to all this stuff on June 6th.
Oh, it didn't fall off.
She's still there. Looks a little bit different, doesn't it?
Jesus, bro.
How sick is that?
Sick.
You gotta see it in the real sunlight, but looks so good.
Yeah, buddy.
And it didn't fall off with only 3 wheels.
Motorcycle straps?
It's Rick.
Whoa, what happened?
We lost the wheel.
No way.
Yeah. We're gonna have to lift this thing off. We don't have a fork. We made it, bro. We made it.
That looks so good. It does.
All right, so car's back in our possession. It's time to get to work. We're gonna go ahead and put the extensions on the rack so we can get the car as high up off the lift as possible because we're gonna be installing the body kit while it's on the lift. It's gonna be on the lift for a few days until we get the subframes back on and it can be a roller again. So it's gonna live here, so we gotta make sure we do a good job straight out of the gate. That way we don't have to adjust anything. So we're gonna go ahead and get it up in the air.
chassis body got welded to the 240. That way during the transport, it wouldn't come off. So right now we're just taking the weld off.
One eternity later.
What's up, guys? Well, it's pretty late in the day here. It's actually, I think, like, I don't know, like 8 o'clock at night. The rest of the boys all went home. I'm still here. Just want to get a couple things done in the car before I go home so I can sleep tonight knowing that we actually did something. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wing mounted up. I've already tossed 2 rivets in it. I'm using Speedway rivets. They're going to match our Downstar hardware as close as possible while still using a rivet. It's a black head, and these are basically called blind rivets. They're pretty cool. So these are used mostly by sprint car teams and like dirt track cars. They're made out of aluminum. They've got a nice head, and you can get them in all different colors, which is really cool. And they expand on the back really big. They actually turn into like a triangle shape. Loud cars. So they expand really big on the backside, but the nice thing is they're aluminum, so they're easy to drill out and remove. But what's cool is that since these are already pre-painted directly from the manufacturer, they're black and they match the black Downstar hardware that we're actually using. So it'll be very uniform all the way around the car. The reason I'm using rivets on the wing is because I don't anticipate removing the wing regularly, so it can be fixed in place. We'll probably use the same thing on the diffuser as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this thing up. Alright, well I figured while I was back here, I might as well go ahead and put our new taillight garnish piece on. If you guys saw in previous videos, this is a new panel. However, we would have been putting this on regardless because all 240s have this panel. Basically, it's a finisher panel that goes below your taillights and above your bumper. As you guys know, this is a Rocket Bunny kit, so we're not going to be running a rear bumper. We've got some other things planned for that area, but to complete the look of the actual Rocket Bunny kit, we are leaving the rear bumper off. We wanted to modernize the look of the car a little bit, so we went ahead and got the late model, or the Koki taillights as they call them. The word Koki means late model in Japanese. You have Zenki, Chuki, and Koki. Zenki means early model, Chuki means mid model. Some automotive manufacturers have a mid model. For instance, Honda and Nissan for the most part run their cars every 4 years. The first 2 years are the Zenki model, and then the last 2 years are usually the Koki model. It does vary from manufacturer and even different models. They can do it differently. However, that's neither here nor there. These are the Koki taillights, the late model taillights. This is an early model car, it's the 89, which is the first year this was produced in the States. So we're swapping that out. The reason that is because they look way cooler. Difference is this trim panel that goes in here changes out. It has a little bit different shape than the factory one. We mentioned that in a previous video. And it hugs the bottom of our new taillights. So after I get this mounted up, we'll go ahead and grab those and toss those in as well. And then I believe there's gonna be some wiring to do to make those function properly. All right, so these are the Koki taillights directly from Nissan. This is an OEM part, was available on the cars in Japan. We never got them here in the States, so it kind of makes them a little cooler for us here in the US, so it's kind of neat to have something like this. Not only that, it's much more modern looking in my opinion, with the raised circles. Just a better looking lens in my opinion. If you order these directly from Nissan, you get new hardware, which is attached to this little box here. There's 4 new nuts.
These nuts?
And also a new sealer to go on the back of this light to make sure it seals to the chassis. So we'll go ahead and apply that to the back of these lights and start getting these put in. There's also a brand new center garnish as well, which is pretty cool. It has the reverse lights integrated in it and a hole for your key. And yeah, you're probably also wondering why I'm wearing these glasses. This is my new pair of safety glasses. My friends over at Heatwave Visual actually released these glasses here. They're called a Z87. Maybe don't make me look that cool, but definitely can save my eyes, which I need to be more cautious about. So I'll be wearing these a lot. I don't really care what they look like. I think they look cool, but if you guys don't like them, that's too bad, because I want to keep my eyes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I'm not really sure, it's just like a sealer And there's a little edge in here where you're supposed to lay it in around each of these exposed housing areas. So what we'll do is we'll put this in here. What that does, won't allow any water through to the inside. So we don't have any electrical shorts or water in the chassis. So I'm gonna actually go over to the bench and install this. I'll be right back and toss these in the car. All right, we're back. As you can see, I've gone ahead and applied the butyl surround. And then when we press these on, it'll go ahead and seal the light to the chassis. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat this process of applying the butyl. We'll go ahead and get the right side taillight in, and we'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so I went ahead and popped those lights in. You guys can see them now. They look awesome, as we thought they would. I really love this subtle body line that is in this panel. You can see it right along here. The other panel that we had in here did not have that. One cool thing is this actually comes with a new center lock and key. Comes with the kit. I did not put that in because I wanted to reuse our key and cylinder. But as you can see, the length on this one here, it's quite a bit longer.
That's what she said.
Than this one. As you can see, this one is in there, but it's way back there, and it doesn't come all the way out to the panel. So this obviously sticks out much further than the factory 240 panel from '89. So we'll go ahead and swap that out. It's just 4 nuts. They come off, and we'll put that thing in, and we'll be all set. But that's how that's gonna look in the back. It's a really clean look. I think it really suits the car and really updates the rear end quite a bit. So I'm really looking forward to where this goes. We have a whole heap of stuff to put on the back end of this car. We still have a Street Faction bash bar with jacking point, as well as the Rocket Bunny rear diffuser to put on. And that should round out the rear end, honestly. It's not, I guess it is a lot of stuff, but it's all purposeful stuff that we really wanted to clean up the look of this car. So that's it for the taillight section. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to something else now. All right, guys, we're back. And already got a fresh coat of undercoat under the car from 3M, rubberized undercoating. We've let that dry, and we've actually went ahead and put a nice black coat of VHT epoxy paint over top of that to make it nice.
Brand new.
And hard. Yeah, so really happy with the way this turned out. What do you think, Ev?
Dude, this is crazy. Looks awesome.
Looks pretty much like a new car under here. Now that the bottom of the car's done, we can actually start putting all of the new bits on the car, which is really exciting. Evan's over here already getting started on a bunch of the arms powder coated in this off yellow, I guess it's called.
It's like a highlighter
kind of a highlighter yellow. And we've got our stock rear corners over here. So these are all of the arms. This is the axle, the hub, and their lower control arms. So Evan's gonna blow these apart, and we're gonna start putting it together with our GK Tech bits, which are awesome because they have full rod ends, which is gonna make this ride a little more harsh, but we are building a pseudo track car here, so harsh is not a bad thing. This doesn't need to pass the girlfriend
Just
test.
show them the rear subframes over here. So this is where all that's gonna be mounted to, right?
So all that stuff comes off of these provisions here. Differential will mount here. Oh yeah, these are the GK Tech gusset plates that we welded in. The rest of them are underneath, so you can't really see them at the moment, but we've got our front subframe, rear subframe. Lime yellow is gonna look really cool against the bottom of the black of the car. So I think it's neat though, to throw a little bit of color under the car. That way when you get under there to work, it brightens your day.
I'm gonna take the camera from Mickey for just a few minutes. We'll set you guys down on a time lapse, and I'm gonna blow apart that rear suspension, and then I'm gonna watch some GK Tech YouTube videos so I can learn how to reassemble them using all the new bits.
So to clarify, the GK Tech videos are actually really good because not only does it show you how to put the stuff together, but it gives you a starting point for your alignment. By adjusting those rod ends, you're basically adjusting alignment in all different directions, and they give you sort of a reference starting point. So that's what you're gonna learn in that video. And if you guys do get into these GK Tech parts like we have, which are super nice quality, the YouTube videos are rad because they do explain everything.
So we'll toss a link in the description if you guys want to check that out, or if you're in the middle of your S13, S14, or whatever build, and you do have GK Tech parts, but you don't know how to install them, go ahead and check them out. All right, so I got the complete rear assembly completely stripped down, and I wanted to give you kind of a quick little summary of what we're gonna be doing. So this is the factory rear knuckle and rear lower control arm, and we're gonna be replacing that with all new GK Tech stuff, which is really, really sweet. And we decided to powder coat the lower control arm in this fluorescent yellow color, which looks pretty good. So let me get all the materials I need and everything set up on the table, and we'll walk through exactly what we're gonna be doing today. All right, so I've laid out all of the hardware here, and what I'm gonna do next is just loosely install all of the hardware. And once that is complete, they give you some guidelines of how to set it up. Now, I know obviously once this is all completely assembled, the car's gonna get aligned, but I wanna try to make it as easy as we can on them. So they have some really good instructions for some lengths. We'll set you guys down on a tripod once again, bust this out, and you guys can watch. Okay, so I've gotten the passenger side just mocked up right now, and this looks freaking awesome. So I have the hardware that I need zip tied around here, and this is all just kind of snug for now. Nothing is tight. The rod ends are set to the right distance, the right length, and as of right now, this side is done. So I'm gonna set this back down here, and we're gonna go ahead and tackle the driver's side.
Mr. Beckerman over here putting together the rear assembly. It's looking good, brother.
Dude, almost there. Hubs, and then the arms, and then brakes, and calipers. I guess we do other ones.
We have a lot of work to do, but we've already fitted this Rocket Bunny body kit, as you guys saw in previous videos. And as you also saw in previous videos, we went ahead and made these holes large for our well nuts before the car was painted. So these Downstar hardwares, which we're using, will fit nicely on the car, and all of the holes will be sealed. So these just go in here like this, and then our nice fancy Downstar hardware, which looks like this. So we're using a 3mm Allen head bolt with a nice little smooth flat washer. And since I cheated and already did the other side, I'll show you guys that. But we had to get this side buttoned up for photography purposes, so this one's already done. We still have to put the canard and the front lip, which I call the surfboard, on because it looks like a dang surfboard. The hardware is already on here. This side's all mounted up and ready to rock and roll. So that's what the hardware ends up looking like once it's on. Now these holes need to be made bigger because we just had these drilled for our Clecos so that they could be fastened temporarily to the car. Now that we've got these holes already taken care of, we can open these ones up. On the front and rear of the side skirt, I actually had to put a fixed riv nut on here, where we're using well nuts for everything else, like this. This is a well nut, this is a riv nut. So this actually stays stationary on the car. This actually threads into it, as you can see here. There. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the rear over fender, the front over fender, and the front part that goes over the front bumper on, so that this whole body kit will be on the car and it'll be complete.
All right, so I wanted to take a second and kind of lay out everything that I assembled today and kind of go through the whole rear end setup here. As I mentioned, GK Tech stuff. We're gonna be running BC coils. These were actually on the car before. Awesome coilovers. Stop Tech rear slotted rotors. We're gonna be running 2 calipers on the back, so we picked up some new Part Shop Max Z32 calipers. We already have Z32 calipers in the rear as well. Now before we fully install these, we are gonna be refinishing them. I think we'll probably match the CTSV calipers and just do a nice gloss silver. This is something that I'm not sure if we've shown on camera yet. This is a Sickie hydro handle here. This is the fun lever, as some people call it, but this thing is freaking beefy. Made out of aluminum, machined here. Nice grip too, I like that. It's almost like a knife grip, I like that.
Ergonomic.
Yeah.
One thing about these e-brakes that makes them differ from other e-brakes on the market, especially the cheap, crappy ones you buy on eBay and stuff, is that they actually machine these bushings in-house right here. So instead of a steel bushing and an aluminum handle like most of the ones on the market come with that wear out and egg shape out over time and get real floppy, this will never get like that because they've custom made these bushings to actually fit inside their handle, and you won't get any of that side-to-side slop or overall egging down the road. So this is probably the pinnacle of e-brake handles on the market at the moment.
And then this is new brake line as well.
This is
with
their new brake line kit,
yeah, new brake line kit with all the banjo fittings and everything you need to install it. So when we get to installing this, we'll go through a lot more detail, but we just wanted to show off this piece. I like the, you know, this is probably anodized or some kind of coating on here, and then they come back and they machine their logo, which is pretty trick. So
stay tuned, because the way this mounts is pretty unique. It's not like every other e-brake on the market. We've got something trick planned for this thing.
Very cool. So as we showed you earlier, this is our rear subframe. All those gussets that I welded in kind of blend in now, but they're all in there and everything is looking good, ready to be installed. So it's a ton of stuff here, and I'm sure this video is gonna be pretty long at this point. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it off here. We're gonna keep working for today, and the rest of the installs on the rear subframe, as well as the rest of the Rocket Bunny kit that Mickey was working on, we're gonna have that in tomorrow's video. We'll be posting every single day on this project for the next week or two until this thing is down on the ground and running and driving, and we'll share with you guys all of the tuning and all that stuff as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Stay tuned, more content, and we'll see you guys in the next one.